I'm sitting there cutting weight, and I look like Skeletor. Then 14 hours later, I look like He-Man, right? I'm like, I literally go to shake the first person's hand, and my lower back just cramps up and freezes. Like, I'm like going.
How drastic of a weight cut did you ever have to do?
Coming out of season, 162 pounds, and in good shape, and then gutting down to 135 pounds.
That's so much weight.
That's a lot. That's
in
what period of time?
Probably about 9 weeks.
9 weeks?
Yeah. The real cut is like the last 2 weeks, and then really the last week where you're cutting like 15 to 16, 17 pounds.
Oh, in a week?
Yeah, a week sometimes.
Oh my God. And is that just for the weigh-in?
Yeah.
And then after the weigh-in, you can eat whatever you want and
Rehydrate.
gain however much weight you want?
Yeah.
As far as physically, no, you'll fucking you're definitely. So I'll weigh in at 136, 135 next fight, championship weight.
Yeah.
I'll be up to 158 that night.
Fun.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
So 13 pounds comes on.
Yeah. Well, I'll be 20.
23.
23.
Oh, 50.
136 to
I'll be
135 to 158. 23
that
pounds
night.
in one day. How the fuck is that even possible?
It's just water, food.
Yeah, a lot of a lot of water, lots of liquids and carbs, and eating good. But the actual time, then you shit a couple times, and then the day I walk into the cage around 154, 153.
Wow. So, but that night you're at
a big, yeah.
How much is?
A lot of that's normal. I would say that's probably normal. But for a guy.
Yeah, I've heard about this, but and I'm trying to understand. Is it simply just your body bloating because it's been so deprived with water?
I think a lot of it's the liquids.
I think it's the most dangerous thing in the world. With us, we would go on Thursday night. If I weighed 216 and I had to be 205 by Friday morning, I would get as low as I possibly could and then try to go to bed. So if I'd get to 207, I would hope that by the morning I'd be 206. I'd only have to lose a pound in the morning. So I'm dehydrated for 12, 13, 14 hours. Those guys today are going to bed at that weight, Joe, 10, 11 over, and waking up at like 4 or 5 in the morning and cutting the weight. Because they said if they cut all that weight, they don't sleep, which I can attest to. It don't matter how much melatonin you take, you're so dehydrated. You're not gonna get a good night's sleep. I think it's dangerous.
Why is it dangerous?
Because you have to cut 10 pounds in 4 hours. If you don't, you're screwed. Because the worst possible feeling, you expect to lose 8, but you might lose 6 or 5.5. And then you're like,
I gotta tell you, you're looking good, man. You don't gain weight like in the off season or what? What are you walking around, about 84, 86?
Yeah, like 85 is the highest I ever get. I stay on a good, healthy regimen year round, so I'm always ready to go.
Weight cutting is not a huge issue. I mean, you're hearing about that from everyone. But, I mean, this seems to be a theme going on in the sport. You look like you should be 170, and you don't gain weight. I mean, you look like you've got it all under control.
Yeah, it's a 10-pound cut for me. I've never been focused on, cutting a lot of weight. I want to fight in my natural weight. Everybody thinks it's such a big advantage to cut weight and fight guys at a lower weight class, but I don't think that's a big advantage. I think you're going to dehydrate your body and your brain, and it makes it easier to get knocked out, so I don't believe in weight cutting.
I'll just say this bluntly, especially when you're cutting weight.
Yeah.
How do you not be a dick to your wife?
Obviously, if you're doing it the right way, it's a little bit easier because I don't ever starve myself.
Really?
So I used to. Like when I told you and I didn't care about dude, I used to make fun of my teammates if they were gluten free and shit. Like, bring me extra gluten. I don't give a fuck, right? I'll just train harder, beat everyone's ass. But since I've gotten into my diet, my weight cut happens throughout my fight camp. I mean, I do a 10 to 12 week fight camp. And when I get down, I mean, the last 6 days is just pushing water. I water load. So when I'll cut fuck, dude. I went down to 125s, and when I walked in the night of the fight, I weighed 149. Right?
Oh my God!
Yeah, I usually fight 135s.
God.
My last fight is I went down to 125s.
24 pounds.
Yeah, man.
Wait, I remember watching that fight.
It got stopped in 30 seconds. I got fucked on that one. Right?
I remember thinking you lost too much weight. I think I was at that fight.
Well, I know I lost too much weight because that's also why I got in trouble. I started taking an anemia medication because I became anemic. I got down to 4% body fat trying to do something I shouldn't have been doing. But yeah, man. I mean, it took a toll on me. It was a long fucking road. I mean, it was 12 weeks of work to get down there. But even then, I didn't miss a meal. Even at 35s, I don't miss a meal. If you eat clean in the way it's all pushing water. I mean, when you're pushing water in and out, when I water load and the way that my coaches got me doing it, I eat the night before weigh-ins. I'll lose in 40 minutes. I'll lose 8 pounds.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't even get it. That's insane.
I wrestled in high school. Like I was pretty good. I came 5th in the state of Ohio.
Okay.
And I cut a little bit of weight, but this is on some next level shit.
Yeah, man, it's very scientific. I mean, so the muscle holds more water than any kind of fat or anything. If you're fatter, it's harder to do this. But when you're lean and you have all muscle mass, and I'm water loading, so I'm putting too much water in my body to where my body thinks like I'm drowning. Get it out, sweat, piss, just get it out of my body. And I narrow it down before the 24 hours before weigh-ins. Then I stop drinking almost all my water. And then I just continue to work out. My body just continues to think it's overly hydrated. And so it just dumps it out. And then you eat less sodium. I mean, I still take in sodium, but the right kinds of sea salts and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I'll lose 8 pounds in like 40 minutes when I'm getting ready for the fight.
Yo, that is insane.
Crazy.
And then finally, how did things change if you have to make a weight cut? So in this fight, you didn't have to do that. You go into this fight, you're strong, you do that. Do you have to test in maybe training camp?
No, I won't test. I've done it before. I'm Mr. Weight Class. You know what I mean? I've gone through all the divisions, right? I've gone through 3 divisions now. So it's just about commitment. That's it. Just commit and just do what you know you need to do, and that's it. So tonight's my night, but I'm no different than you know what I mean. All I did was just put in the work, and that's it. So if each one of us put in the work that we know we should do, we know what the work is we need to do. It's just sometimes you don't do it, you know. And then you know when you say, okay, I got to do this, and you know you got to do it, and then you don't do it. That's like a defeat. And then those add up, and then your lack of interest to go do it actually wanes, and then you can get injured and all this type of thing. So for me, it's just about recognizing what needs to be done and do it strictly and do it. And that for me leads me to enjoy it more, and that's basically what happened this camp. So I could have made 155 this week. I ate up to 170. So I'd say I could have been about 169 in there on the night. And I'd say Donald had a bit to cut this fight for this camp. He was in the sauna since Wednesday, so I wouldn't be surprised if Donald was about 180 plus in there. So but I tell you what, I felt energetic, I felt good, and happy days. So, but I've experienced it all. I've experienced near blackouts for the Mendez weight cut. I had no nutritionist, no nothing, and I done it all myself, and it was a heavy weight cut. And then for the Aldo one, I done it correctly, and I felt okay. We had a nutritionist on board, and I felt good at 145, and I've obviously had amazing success down there. And then the 155, and then it's just about commitment. That's it. You put in the work, you'll reap the rewards. There's no secret sauce to this. Recognize what you need to do and fucking do it, and you will succeed.